1987, best year of my life.
Year of my life. The man that's been by my side for 25 years is a graceful liar. Makes me wonder if anything you ever said to me was true. Was true.
I did not sleep with her.
I don't believe you.
Where are your limits? Where are your limits? Where are your limits?
Just out of reach.
All right, have and have not fans, hope everyone's doing well. Go ahead and like the video. Let's try, this is Veronica focus. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Go ahead and hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you are able to be notified whenever I post content to the channel. Hit subscribe to help me reach 150,000 before the end of the year. And finally, follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Now, I was originally thinking about doing a video where I broke down every scene, just say, hey, Easter egg video. Here's all the various things we saw in the flashback. Number one, that would have taken a while. And to be honest, I might still do that video, but only after the season has ended because, well, yeah, it would take a while. Number two, I caught a piece of dialogue that I did not notice the first time I watched the flashback. I just watched the flashback again. It was about 3.5 to 4 minutes long. And basically just covers the ins and outs of the rickety relationship marriage of David and Veronica from the beginning of the series. Her paranoia, her distrust, his infidelity. And that's the thing about some people, and this is real, where they are quick to look at the flaws of other people and blame them for shortcomings and whatnot. But I don't believe in any of the flashback we saw. Well, no, we actually did see, I think, Veronica with Benny and Veronica with RK. But in any case, even though she's done foul, she's still blaming David for everything. But there was the one bit where we got the wedding scene from Veronica and David's wedding day. To 1987, the best year of my life. I don't even remember if he said that before in the original clip. I could be wrong. I know that she was watching the wedding tape and then RK shut it off. But yeah, 25 years. So looking at the math, and I could be wrong about this, but I think I'm right. But the show started, well, technically, the show first aired for us May 2013. Now, when David said to 1987, the best year of my life, that could mean a couple things. Either the year that he and Veronica met or the year that they got married. Now, I'm more inclined to say that it's the year they got married because, yeah, 1987, meeting Veronica is a great time, at least for that time period of their lives. But then, I think 1987 makes the most sense for when they got married. Then 25 years later would be 2012. So it's debatable. Well, I think it makes the most sense that if you want to line up the timeline of our real-time calendar date and the haves and have-nots. So basically when episode 1 aired in like May of 2013, then it's May in the haves and the have-nots, even though technically they're still within the 2013 year. But that's another discussion for another video, which I've already talked about at least 50 times on the channel. So theoretically in the back half of 2013 is when they would have celebrated their 26th anniversary. But it seems safe to say that they've gotten their divorce done before that time. So just throwing it out there. So the other thing I wanted to say about the flashback is what I've said plenty of times, and that's the fact that the flashback sequence was great for, if no other reason than to remind fans of, hey, remember when the haves and the have-nots used to be good? We had, you know, homages to, you know, things like Erica, Maggie Day, Veronica's various affairs, and, you know, pretty much everything that went down as to why Veronica felt the way she does about David now. And I remember on the official haves and have not Facebook page, people all the time have told me, Jeremy, man, you need to go read the comment section on those posts because the fans really go in, and they're right. Now, there's actually this one particular video that was posted a couple of days ago. Veronica certainly has had David on her mind recently, and it's about a minute long or so, pretty much going through most of the flashback, or at least 1/3 of it. And I actually left a comment. I said this flashback sequence was gold, but only because it showed us how great the show used to be. And not to flex here, but 96 likes and over 20, almost 30 comments. So people agree. I mean, if you go to the post, Jeremy, right, I almost forgotten David was a judge until I saw him in his chambers. I was thinking the same thing, like, dang, I remember the storylines that actually made sense and they wrapped them up. You're so right. Used to be. Now it just sucks. Then they got a bunch of, applause emojis and stuff like that. Yeah, it's so boring. Step it up, TP. Here's one of my favorite ones. I agree the first 3 seasons were gold. The governor campaign storyline was great. I don't know what's going on. Won't the story, I think she meant to say what's going on with the story now, but it's become a whole big mess. But I still tune in each week because it's too addicting, and I love the Ice Queen. She is the show's main attraction, and the list goes on. There's just a lot of comments, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, when you watch a show like Assisted Living, and again, I'm not trying to beat up on the show, I'll say that for tomorrow night, but it's just that when you watch Cora and Brown, who their appearance has made the show better, but honestly, when you watch Cora and Brown in a show like Assisted Living, it's nothing more but a reminder of, you know what, instead of watching this, why don't I just go watch some Meet the Browns, where the show's really good and these characters are associated in a program that I actually like, kind of like the Paynes compared to the first 8 seasons of House of Pain. So I really do feel like these flashback sequences were amazing, but like I said in my episode review, it wasn't enough to save the episode, because even though last week wasn't bad, but it was more or less a boring episode, the flashback itself, again, was just a reminder of how great the show used to be. But at the same time, it's like you can tell Tyler Perry was kind of like, running out the clock, where I'm like, dang, as much as amazing as the flashback was, I'm like, did it really need to be as long as it was? Like, those little flashback moments, like, it would have been great to have that for, like, whenever Jim or Catherine talk about or think about Amanda, it's like, it would be great to kind of remember who she was. I mean, there are literal fans who have no flipping idea who Amanda is. And I honestly can't blame them, because not everyone watched the show from the beginning. But remember, every episode is on Hulu. The first 6 seasons and the first half of season 7. But to be honest, after I know eventually the 10 episodes we're getting now, which will wrap up next week, will eventually be placed on Hulu. But I don't even think there's anybody, and again, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a single person who would willingly go out of their way to rewatch these 10 episodes we've gotten during the back half of the year. That's not to say the first 10 episodes were any better, but I'm literally just saying. Like, the only reason I would go back to rewatch stuff is to, like, list out how many new characters we got during the back half of the season. Pretty sure I'll do a video on that, because it's ridiculous. Like, in tonight's episode, Father's Day, if IMDb is correct, we should be getting like somewhere between 3 to 6 new people tonight. I am not lying. So with that being said, the flashback sequence, it was great, but at the same time, it's like, well, another thing that's funny is, like, you got Erica in there when David and Erica were dancing at that diner. We don't see Erica's face. When RK is on the bed, we don't see RK. And then you got Maggie they mentioned, but you don't see her. You see Veronica in the wig. So I thought that was funny. Now, I don't know how that works. Like, using the likeness of somebody's character. For example, when Erica was on that phone, that video message that Alyssa showed David, did she get compensated for that, Priscilla, in real life? Or is it a situation where she got paid when they filmed that part and then when they used it in the episode? I don't know how TV works like that. But in any case, I thought the flashback sequence was great. It just shows you how twisted Veronica is. But at the end of the day, I think flashbacks should be utilized more often. But we don't always need lengthy flashback sequences like this. But to be honest, if an episode is hella boring, I would rather sit through 10 minutes of flashbacks than just watch an episode that's just dry as I don't know what. So with that being said, as always, I appreciate people like you all for coming on this video, watching, supporting, all that good stuff. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And with that being said, I'll talk to you in the next video.